So, I'm actually excited to do this show today. This is the second show today. We did the men's earlier as usual. For no rhyme or reason, we do the men first. It's just how we have it organized. But I have been looking, I think, she hasn't seen my notes yet, so she's going to be kind of blindsided to this, but I'm looking forward to it. So, we're going to look at the women's grass court run-up to Wimbledon, as we have done for about the past maybe week or so now. About 4 or 5 days. We've been grinding it out, so hey, keep grinding it out with this. So I'm going to jump right in to the women's results and some preliminary comments that I've picked up on in women's tennis. One, I always said that I don't want to get into prize money for men or women, and is it equal or should it be equal? And I don't necessarily want to get into that. However, today, my wife here, Carla, was busy with all the kids, and I kept the little one, and I had an opportunity to sit today and watch the Tennis Channel, which is a paid-for channel. We have a satellite carrier, and I kept basically it on in the background while working, etc., strung some rackets, and everything was men's tennis. Again, no problem with that. But as the day progressed, I got to the end of men's tennis, only to have a doubles match pop up that Kyrgios was playing with Hewitt. And hey, two great players. Hewitt's retired, though. Kyrgios is young, and we saw him earlier in the day, and we've seen him for a couple weeks now. I think we should give the girls a chance. I guess there's an old saying, what comes first, is the chicken or the egg? Well, I guess my metaphor is how can we determine whether or not the women sell more tickets or not if we don't give them equal opportunity for marketing? Give them a year of the same type of coverage. Who's to say that we may see less future tennis stars dipping off to be Instagram models if we give them equal opportunity in marketing?
I can't believe they showed a guy who's been out of tennis, retired from professional tennis for a while. Hewitt's been retired for 2-3 years now, and I think he's a Davis
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's the Australian Davis Cup coach. Yes.
And then Kyrgios. Why wouldn't they put a women's match? I don't get this. Doubles out of everything.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love doubles. I love the game. I wish I knew more about the intrinsic aspects of doubles. And it was nice to see them play. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, this doubles match began. I think, and I'll review the matches shortly. I think there was a third set women's round of 16 or round of 32 match being played, and
Kerber.
I got
Kerber was finishing her match.
Yeah, Kerber. Yeah, we'll talk about Kerber match too. But so these matches are finishing, and I'm watching Hewitt play doubles.
It's sad. You know what's gonna be bad for women's tennis?
Thumbs down, man.
Also, when Serena Lee retires and Venus retire, because they get a lot of the coverage since they're dominant, they're powerful. But once they're gone from the game, I don't know if we're gonna see too much of women's tennis.
Yeah, it's fading quickly, and I think if we don't realize that there's a bunch of really feisty young women out there that are really good tennis players, give them some marketing opportunity. I guarantee you, there's a lot of excitement out there that everyone is missing. We've seen it. She's played it. It's very exciting to see her play, and she's not a top 200 in the world player or never got there, but not terribly far from that. But nonetheless, these girls really compete to get to this level. And to not give them any airtime from, I want to say, about 6:30 Central Standard Time here in the morning until currently, like 10 minutes ago, and it's about 7 o'clock here. It's been all men's tennis with a couple brief clips throughout the day with women's coverage. Give them a chance because there's some good matches.
I think maybe the women need to go on strike.
Well,
maybe to prove a point that they do need them.
Anyway, we're going to push forward, but, I tip my hat to all the female players out there because, I pay for a tennis channel, and it should be called, instead of tennis channel, it just should be called men's tennis channel because I never see any of the women. So where we get our details from, sometimes they're jumbled, but generally they're not from a standard media outlet. They're just jumbled articles, whereas I can get the men's anywhere. And I'm not hating on the men. Obviously, I'm a coach. I have 5 kids that play. I'm a male tennis player and have been since I was 2 going into it. But we have to give the women a shot to at least sell tickets. But everything is engulfed by even men practicing at their tournaments to only get more coverage than the practicing women. So anyway, we're going to move forward with scores. So one other news note, I noticed that Halep withdrew from Eastbourne next week. Any problem with that? Any worry?
No, she's tired. Yeah, you got to remember that the French Open, the Wimbledon, are so close to each other, which I think they should fix that. They should have a bigger gap. I mean, you got the Australian Open in January, and then you've got the French Open at the end of May, and then you've got Wimbledon coming up at the end of July. I don't think it's enough time. Plus, there's too many clay tournaments during that time. She probably needs to rest her body.
Yeah, I agree with this. We're going to touch real quickly on Kanta's outburst on the umpire, where I don't know if she even heard this, but I think Kanta outburst into a referee, like, what are you doing, you know? The McEnroe deal, but only from Kanta. You know, how can you make these calls when these calls are livelihood? I mean, I get the frustration. I have thrown a racket or two, believe me. Carla has thrown.
No, I've never thrown a racket.
Oh, she has thrown a racket.
No,
no, you threw a racket the other day.
What?
You threw it at the net. You were like,
Okay, but I've never.
it's like a helicopter throw. She did
Maybe once in a blue moon.
No.
Wait a minute, you throw yours over across to the over the fence.
True. Sometimes there's some good tossing, but don't let her fool you. She throws rackets.
No, I do not. That's a lie.
She throws them often.
Okay.
I've never seen her break one. I've only broken one.
One? Okay.
One
I
racket.
barely toss my racket because I love my Dunlop racket. It's rare.
All right, so Kanta goes off on the referee and screaming at her like, "How can you make these calls? These calls are our livelihood." I get Kanta's frustration. I guess on a heads or tails, I get the head side of it in that they don't get much media exposure, and the little exposure that they get, it's in their own country. And she makes a big match, and she gets a bad line call, and she's flustered. Can you do that on the tennis court? No, but referencing back to how much coverage the girls get, the more rounds that they win, they get more coverage. In men's tennis, generally, the camera's always on them. So if they lose once or twice, it doesn't matter. Federer can lose in the first round tomorrow. If he plays Nadal in a practice match in their backyard tomorrow night, that match is going to get shown. So all I'm getting at is I get where Kanta comes from with the frustration, but at the same time, Kanta, you can't do that. Sorry. And the poor referee, obviously the referee's livelihood is by making good calls, so you know the referee's apologetic about it, right? So hey, thank you to the referees. They do a great job.
Did they not have a Hawkeye or where they could see the calls?
You know, that's a great question. I actually had that thought, and that's a great question. Commentary on that. Did they have Hawkeye or not? If not, why wasn't it used? Or was it even relevant in the point? That's interesting food for thought, but I get Kanta's frustration, especially what I had a chance to see today, which was 0 women's coverage during a full day of men's matches. No problem with that, and then reruns of the same matches.
That's pathetic. Actually, I think, Justin, that's a slap in the face to women's tennis. Again, how are these young girls supposed to look up to players?
Yeah, and you know, that's another good point. So we want our children, we have 5 of them, we have 2 girls and 3 boys, but we want our girls to be, I guess, inspired by other women's tennis players. But they never get a chance to see any women's tennis players unless
it's a Grand Slam.
A Grand Slam, or it's just a final and Serena's playing it, and we hope Serena as well, by the way. Or they see her mother playing myself, and so it's difficult to inspire sometimes by always showing people men's matches. So maybe we can get some more women's coverage to inspire the women young players too.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, Tennis Channel has to help women's tennis. I mean, I'm sure they make a lot of money. So.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move forward to scores. We had Garcia today of France defeat Larson. Again, this show is about Wimbledon contenders. Run up to grass court, and if you are a contender within at least, say, the round of 16, quarterfinals, semis, and finals. I do not see Garcia being outside of the 4th round. Maybe she gets around to a 16, so maybe we can just kind of remember Garcia. I still don't think so. And then Larson, either one for me.
Well, at least she won her match. She's the number 1 seed in that tournament, and she has to prove why she's the number 1 seed in that tournament. So good win for her.
Cool. I like this. All right. So my call from the very first women's show about my forecast for Wimbledon about having a veteran go deep. I said Stosur. She laughed. Look at the video.
I'm still laughing.
Stosur won today, 6-3, 6-4. Cruised against a Spanish player, Arua Barrena, I think it is.
Barrena, yeah. I mean, come on. She should have won that match, even as a veteran.
Go Stosur. Good job. We had 2 Germans. Maria defeats Withoft again. I've never seen, maybe I've seen the names, but I can't recall remembering them play. No shot for me getting into the second week Wimbledon.
No, definitely not. Next match.
Next 2. Kenin, a U.S. player, defeated a German player, I think. I may be wrong about German here, but her name was Van Uytvank. And I may have that incorrectly as well.
She's from Belgium, actually.
Belgium, close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Flags are similar. So, again, Wimbledon second week, I'm out.
Good for the American to win, don't you think?
I think it's great, the American win, but second week Wimbledon?
No, definitely not.
Moving forward, Risk today. The U.S. player beats Kerber in a third set.
Wow.
They played a first set and a second set. It was delayed at 1-1 going into the third next day. I personally don't see it being a problem. I still don't have Risk getting past the second week or getting into the second week of Wimbledon. Kerber, I have is not a semifinalist this year. Not a semifinalist. No. I think Kerber's out in the quarters, but I do have Kerber in my top 8. I have Risk not making it to the second week.
I totally agree with you. I think probably the break to restart the match, some players are slow starters, like yourself.
Yeah, I'm a slow starter.
And, I mean, it probably didn't help her. Is it going to be bad for her, confidence? No. Is it going to affect her Wimbledon play? No.
Yeah, I know the feeling of being a slow starter. Same way, we can play sets often, and sometimes I don't even really particularly pay too much attention to the first set, and then dig in at the beginning of the second when I'm warmed up. So I know the feeling. I can relate. Moving forward, notable matches tomorrow for this tournament. We are going to have Herzog against Risk. Again, I don't have either one going to the quarters. That's where I stopped talking about it.
Hopefully Risk can pull another win.
Hopefully so. I don't think it has any relevance towards the beginning of Wimbledon and into the second week. Peterson versus Tom Jomanovic. She's an Australian. I keep seeing her name. Again, I just still don't see this young lady in the second week of Wimbledon.
I don't have anything to say about that match. I just don't know them.
Agreed. And again, is it particularly our fault, being that we are tennis enthusiasts and love it, that we don't necessarily see these girls play? Or is it just that there's never an opportunity? There's no coverage ever, unless it's like finals, Wimbledon, Sunday morning, and Serena's playing, and we want to see Serena, obviously, but there's a lot of people that really want to watch these females grow, and there's just no way for them to do so. So we're bringing it to you. So next match we have tomorrow, Lautner versus Sevetsova. I know Sevetsova is a Latvian girl. I don't know anything about the other girl. I don't see either one, in my opinion, being relevant in the second week of Wimbledon.
No, she'll do well the first week. She'll get through a few rounds. Didn't she beat Kuznetsova last round?
I think so. That's good history. I'm not 100% sure. Next match, again, Wimbledon upset alert. I have Azarenka tomorrow playing Safarova, which is a good doubles player.
Yes, decent singles player. Azarenka should win that match.
Yeah, I mean, I have Azarenka as being a semi-finalist at Wimbledon. So, again, I've mentioned in previous videos, I have Serena and I have Azarenka being 2 semi-finalists. I have Muguruza as another one. And my fourth one, I'm still waiting to see the draws there. I don't think that they would put Serena, Muguruza, and Azarenka. Serena, Azarenka. Who's the other one I just mentioned?
You've got Serena, Azarenka, Kerber, Sharapova.
So I said,
Muguruza.
Serena, Azarenka, Muguruza. And I think my number 4 at this point is going to be Kvitova, but we'll have to see how the draws unfold. But she plays her tomorrow. Azarenka should win this. Even if she got bageled, I still think it's meaningless, and I still have Azarenka as being one of my semifinalists.
Right.
All right, so we're going to move forward to the next tournament, which is the Nature Valley Classic, once we hear this again. So I'm going to just roll right into it. We had Kvitova, actually. I think that this match completed yesterday, and we may have neglected to mention it. And I may have
No, we did mention it.
Kvitova beat Konta?
Yes, we did mention
Okay,
that.
my fault there. It was a cliff note. Cliff note. All right, so we had Martic that lost today to Buzaranescu in 3 sets. Do we need to discuss this in
No.
terms of Wimbledon?
No, definitely not.
Surely great players. I know neither. Hopefully we get to know you with more coverage, but unfortunately,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, either way, I'm not threatened for my semifinalists that I forecasted. Svitolina defeated Cornet easily today, 4-2. Any surprise there?
No, she should have. That's what we talked about yesterday. She
Yeah.
should. I mean, she's number 4 in the world. She should be cruising.
Cruise control. All right, so here we go. Osaka retires with stomach pains after losing the first set 6-3 to Jakubovic. No disrespect to Jakubovic. I'm glad you had an easy 1-set win, 6-3, and then retired over Osaka. So we've talked about this before. And again, there's no disrespect to any female. I know that the women have a whole different Venus versus Mars and biological makeup and everything else. I understand that. But for some reason, the only times I've seen Osaka is one big match win. It might even have been a tournament win where she was holding a trophy, possibly, like a big trophy.
I think it was the Indian Wells.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But after that, I've seen her twice, crying on the sideline to coach, and then all of a sudden we are retiring 6-3. I get injuries are tough, and Wimbledon's coming up. But do you really need to try to save your body at this point for Wimbledon? Because right now you can't even win a match.
I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want to be out there. Like she told her coach. She didn't want to be out there.
Pretty boy with the tan is not going to help you get tougher. Just do what you can do. Keep grinding it out. What's his name? Sasha, Serena's hitting coach, I think is her coach. Don't buy into all that stuff, man. It's about happiness and being positive and having a good energy and keeping yourself mentally tough. I mean, do what you got to do, but in my personal opinion, I would try to get from whatever course it is that we're heading into at this point and try to take another course because it's getting a little bumpy, right?
Yeah, it is. Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see in a few weeks how she does at Wimbledon.
Wish you well. You're a good player, but sometimes money doesn't buy you everything, right?
Correct.
All right. So moving forward, we have Rybarakova that beat Tiem's girlfriend, Mladenovic.
Yeah. I really thought she would win that match. I'm surprised she lost that. I don't have much to say about that. I mean,
Either one have chances of getting the
no,
second week of Wimbledon?
no, not after that loss.
Again, run up to Wimbledon, grass court showed. I don't think they have a chance to get in the second week of Wimbledon.
No,
No?
no, they're not
So we're good
players.
with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
Next match.
Maybe Thiem needs to help her with her game.
That was the completed matches for today. So we're going to move into notable matches for tomorrow. Kvitova is facing Gavrilova. Kvitova should sail.
That should be an easy win for her. And what would that get her into the quarters?
It's a round of 16 match. It would get her into the quarters.
Okay, good match.
It should be
she
2
should
and 2,
cruise.
2 and 2, 3 and 3,
Yeah.
maybe 3 and 4. Break a little sweat. Kvitova. Muguruza against Strykova. The Strykova is Strykova is the girl that beat Brady, that beat Bouchard. That I said, man, is this just an insignificant chain of events? But now we have this girl that beat Brady, the U.S. player, and Bouchard, relatively, I guess, straightforward. I think one of them went 3 sets. Is playing Muguruza tomorrow. I think Muguruza hammers her.
Muguruza should win that. I mean, but Strykova will give her a good challenge. She's a power hitter, so yeah, it's still Muguruza will win that.
All right, we have Julia Georges playing Barty. We've heard a lot about Barty in the past week or two, winning a couple tournaments or making a final against Konta or something along those lines.
Yeah, she beat Konta actually. If Barty wins this match, I might have to start thinking about her.
Yeah, she said it right. I'm checking the camera again. Again, we do this solo. I'm going to agree with that. Look, in all honesty, I've heard Barty's name for a while, but I've never seen her name pop up like it's been popping up in the past couple of weeks. So she might be someone to watch. She wins this match tomorrow. We're going to talk about her again tomorrow.
Sure.
Sarenko versus Kazatkina. So, I don't know much about Sarenko. I know that she's Ukrainian, and I know that Kazatkina is Russian. So I don't know if there's any type of hey, I want to beat you more because of political reasons or not, but I think that they're both members of a great sport, and I hope that it helps, I guess, both countries see that there's beauty behind everything. And Kazatkina, I think, is a firecracker girl. I think she's really fun to watch. Reminds me of Carla in my own way. So I like Kazatkina here.
Me too. She'll win that match tomorrow, for sure.
Kazatkina could be a top 8 for me at Wimbledon. I'm not sure yet, though. I'm not sure yet. U.S. Open, I'd talk about it. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, she'll do better in the U.S. Open.
So, ending, this one's kind of short. Women's coverage on television. Not that television's great for anybody, or even radio. Anywhere, it's almost non-existent. Do you disagree?
About?
That their coverage is non-existent.
Oh, it's non-existent. I mean, even the commercials are about the ATP tour.
Yeah.
Even the commercials. I mean, the only time you see a woman on the commercial on Tennis Channel is if Tennis Express, Tennis Warehouse
Has like a model.
has an outfit or a model,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Exactly. So let's help the women out. Share this video. It's really important that we try to make it at least fair. They work equally as hard. I'm not trying to be a proponent of equal prize money or not, but if you're going to make that determination and you're really going to get serious about, are we going to draw the line in the sand, let's at least give them half the day coverage and half the day coverage and so forth, because there's some really good players out there. A couple names for me that have grown into my mind now as we roll into Wimbledon: Kazatkina, Azarenka, Barty, and Muguruza has always been in there.
I'm hoping that maybe they'll cover that match. I mean, some of these matches are important.
Important.
Kvitova, Azarenka, I like to see her play. Muguruza.
Yeah, so there's a lot of action going on here today. A lot of action. Really a good bit of action today in women's tennis, and unfortunately we had to grind through a haystack to find that needle and deliver it to you. So no Venus news, no Serena news, no Sloane Stephens news. Konta, go easy on the refs. Hey, the ref's doing equally as good a job as that you are, and apologize to the ref. It happens, believe me. But both sides lost in this event, so make amends with that. I'm going to bring in a last-second teaser here. I have my forecast was that Djokovic would win Wimbledon. I'm removing that. Now, I'm teasing this because I'm going to give you my women's winner too now already. My men's winner of Wimbledon is Nick Kyrgios. My women's winner, right here, Petra Kvitova.
Okay, I can see Petra Kvitova, but I don't see Kyrgios. I don't know what bed you fell off today. I don't know.
I saw something in Kyrgios today that said, you know, he's so comfortable where he actually, it's not that, I made a comment the other day where he was chipping balls back at match point. I don't think yet he was being arrogant. Now that I'm just kind of trying to feel that, I think he's so confident where he's relaxed, and that was his relaxed response. Kind of like a young Federer. Let's go, Kyrgios. Let's just get that. Let's get that whole slouchy thing done. But I got you for Wimbledon, bro. I got you for Wimbledon. Kyrgios wins Wimbledon. Kvitova wins Wimbledon. Take it to the bank.
I don't think anyone will take that to the bank.
Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. In the meantime, thank everyone for watching. Click a like below, subscribe below. We really enjoy doing the tennis news. Sometimes we get tired. But hey, later in the week, the draws get smaller and we don't have to study as much. So in the meantime, have a great night. Thanks so much for watching and take care.
Bye-bye.
Good job.